Coming in from the world of cricket, it seems the BCCI is unhappy with Team India's T20 performance, and understandably at that, what we're picking up from Rajiv Shukla here on headlines today is this, that the team's performance was simply not up to the mark. While the question also now being raised is about Dhoni's captaincy. Questions are being raised, fingers are being pointed. What exactly is the situation looking like? Let's get in our sports editor, Gaurav Gala. We've also got Sundar Iyer joining us on the phone line. Gaurav, let me come to you first. Just put this into perspective for us. It's all about finger pointing at this point in time, but how much do you see this position actually being justified, the kind of allegations that are now being raised against MS Dhoni?
Look, Nida, as far as the BCCI is concerned, they are the top bosses of Indian cricket in the country. They're the apex body as far as cricket is concerned, and they have every right to raise question marks against the captain, because at the end of the day, the buck stops with the captain. If the team wins the World Cup, the plaudits come the captain's way. You know, when in 2011 India won the World Cup, everyone said Dhoni's Devils won the World Cup for India. When the team does not do well, the buck has to stop with the captain. It's his decisions out there. It's his team. It's the way he wants this side to play. And that is why question marks are now being raised over Dhoni. And of course, as far as yesterday's encounter is concerned, we saw that there were certain elementary errors, blunders, we're calling them here on headlines today, that Dhoni committed. So the fact that the flak is coming Mahendra Singh Dhoni's way is very, very justifiable, and I think the BCCI boss is extremely upset. Our sources within the BCCI telling us that they are extremely peeved, extremely upset and angry, and they want to conduct a post-mortem of what has happened. The last time such a post-mortem took place in Indian cricket was after the shameful debacle in the 2007 World Cup, the ICC 50 over World Cup in the West Indies, where the Indians failed to even get past the initial group stage. That was the last time a post-mortem was conducted, and it seems that we are heading in that direction as well, if the anger within the BCCI is to be believed.
Got to stay on with us. Let's also get in Sundar Iyer now. Sundar, we heard the kind of justifications that have come forward from MS Dhoni on this entire fiasco that all of us are now talking about. Finger pointing obviously now coming forward. Gaurav Gala pointing out that the BCCI is completely justified in being concerned about the kind of performance we've seen coming out of Team India, the kind of decisions that were taken by MS Dhoni. But MS Dhoni at this point in time, continuously and standing by the kind of decisions that he's made, continuously coming out and defending himself and his decisions that he's made in this entire series.
Well, indeed, Nida, there's no denying that Skipper Dhoni is feeling the heat, but we all know that through his captaincy ever since the 2007 T20 World Cup, his instincts is what's really taken him forward. We all know the decisions he made, purely backing himself, his instincts. And even in this tournament, we saw him initially say that he preferred the 7-5 combination. Then he went down to pick the 5 bowlers. He realized it worked against England. It came down crumbling against the Australians. He went back to his preferred 7-4 combination. So understand, Dhoni at this stage is not too moved by the criticism that's coming his way. He even defended the decision to promote Rohit Sharma ahead of himself in the batting order in last evening's game. He says the decisions were bound to be taken. He says when you look at it from a hindsight, one can certainly criticize. But yes, there's no denying that Dhoni is under pressure. This is the third straight World T20 under his leadership that India has been knocked out in the Super 8. And understand the BCCI will want to do a post-mortem, try and find where the fault lies and try and set the house in order. Because remember, the BCCI did back him even in those 8 consecutive overseas test losses. India came back to win against the New Zealanders, and it's a tough season at home against England and Australia. And the board clearly wants to let Captain Dhoni know that while he's in the saddle, he needs to get his act right, and he needs to make sure that team's interests are uppermost. We all know not having Harbhajan Singh in the playing 11 did cost Skipper Dhoni last game, because he had even bowled Rohit Sharma ahead of Ashwin, which clearly showed that he needed an off-spin, and he was a spinner shot in those conditions.
All right, so Sundar, just hang on to that thought. Gaurav, I'm also coming back to you in just a bit, because as things stand, it seems MS Dhoni and his team are now getting a lot of flack from all quarters concerned, including their very own board, the BCCI. In fact, this is a point that even Gaurav Gala was raising to us. Let's get you the reaction of what Rajiv Shukla and some other former cricketers have had to say about Team India's yet another big failure.
जिस तरह से हम क्वालिफाई नहीं कर पाए, सेमीफाइनल में नहीं पहुंच पाए, पूरी तरह संतुष्ट नहीं। हालांकि हमने पाकिस्तान वाला मैच जीता और साउथ अफ्रीका का मैच भी कल जीता, लेकिन इसके बावजूद जो है सेमीफाइनल में नहीं पहुंच पाए, इसलिए पूरी तरह संतुष्ट नहीं, और इसको हम लोग रिव्यू करेंगे.
Although I still feel that you make your combination according to the situation and according to the opposition as well. Let's not forget we were playing South Africa, who are not really good against spin. So maybe there was a chance.
I think so. जो expectations हमें महेंद्र सिंह धोनी से थी, महेंद्र सिंह धोनी उस एक्सपेक्टेशंस पे नहीं उतरे हैं। ये तीसरा वर्ल्ड कप 2020 हमारा हो गया है कि हमारी हालत, हमें आखिर में सर झुका के टूर्नामेंट से बाहर होना पड़ता। 2007 के बाद आप 3 टूर्नामेंट्स लगा लीजिए, बहुत खराब प्रदर्शन रहा है। और इस बार तो मैं कहूंगा कि टीम को आप ज्यादा दोष नहीं देंगे, यहाँ पर अगर आप दोष देंगे कहीं ना कहीं कप्तान को दोष देंगे।
All right, so it's all about MS Dhoni and the kind of blame game that has now begun, that has erupted. Let's also get in Chetan Chauhan in on this. Chetan, all fingers pointing towards MS Dhoni, the kind of decisions that he's taken, the man choosing to stand by what he's done so far. But what exactly do you think has gone wrong for Captain Marvel? This is the man who's led India to so many fantastic victories. We're talking about World Cups. And now this. What exactly do you think, in your opinion, has actually gone wrong for the man called MS Dhoni?
See, I will not blame Dhoni alone for the debacle because I feel that India had a great chance of at least reaching the semi-finals because the tournament was played in this continent. We are used to these kind of conditions in this subcontinent. We have been to Sri Lanka and we did very well against Sri Lanka. Considering these factors, I thought, we did deserve or we should have reached at least the semi-finals. Unfortunately, we have not. Man, the captain has to take the stick because he is the captain. But I will not blame him alone. I would blame the entire team because the captain is as good as the team. If the team does not perform, the captain alone cannot do everything for the team. You take the opening pair. Unfortunately, they did not perform. Then we had Rohit Sharma. He did not perform. You leave aside Virat Kohli. The others, and few games, Suresh Raina, the others were struggling. The performance for which all these players are known, those performances, unfortunately, those brilliance, which these players are used to, or we are used to, like Virendra Sehwag, Gautam Gambhir, Yuvraj Singh, Rohit Sharma, Dhoni himself also, except the batters did not perform, and unfortunately, because the batters did not perform, the bowlers did not have enough runs to back them up. As far as the bowling is concerned, I thought Zaid Khan was struggling with the bowling, and there was no need to continue with him. We should have had we could have easily played Ashok Dinda because not only he was struggling in bowling, but he was also struggling in fielding. So we had a few slow movers too in the side. So these are all the factors. Plus, at few stages, Dhoni did make mistakes, especially against Australia. There was no need to rest Virendra Sehwag. He's a brilliant player. He won a lot of games for India on his own, and resting him, I thought was not a good decision.
Okay, so it's perhaps a combination of a whole range of factors that needs a look into, is what Chetan Chauhan seems to be telling us. In fact, as things stand, what we're talking about here on Headlines today is about the performance of MS Dhoni, the kind of decisions that he's taken. I'm returning to Gaurav Gala and Sundar Iyer in just a bit, but this is how things stand. MS Dhoni coming under immense fire after the men in blue crashed out of the World T20. Once hailed as Captain Marvel, Dhoni is now facing scrutiny over his costly blunders which let the team down. MSD was clearly on the back foot, defending some of his decision-making in the match against South Africa.
Looking to go after them in the sense, we wanted to make use of the new ball initially because I knew if the fast bowlers, they can swing it a bit and get early breakthroughs. Then after the 6th over, we can put pressure with our spinners. But if you tried the other way around, it's more than certain that the fast bowlers, when they come in, it would be very difficult for them to get the batsmen out unless, they play a big rash shot. So we started with fast bowlers. We got the breakthrough that was needed. I think in between, they batted quite well, when one of the overs from Rohit, went a bit expensive, and 120 was quite a low target to defend, frankly speaking, so overall we have won this game by 1 run or 2 runs, so it would be very difficult to say, if a few strategies would have been changed, whether we could have got them out for 120 odd runs.